giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live. We are streaming live on YouTube. And of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker. Still, boom! Happen to look over here. You think we can win the game, huh? I don't think people want to win this game, Chris. Coming up today, I got 4 things to watch for tonight. It's a little different than normal. Usually we're looking at ways to win this game, looking at creative advantages, 4 matchups. Nada. You got to alter your perspective when you're moving forward in a situation like this. So I got 4 things to watch for to give you a different way, a different how to watch tonight's game. So stick around for that, Cowboys Nation. Plus, in the roundup, the injury report just got worse and worse and worse throughout the week. And, we're on our pins and needles right now, when it comes to one specific player. But we know about a few of the other guys, so we'll get into that in the roundup. Then we'll get into our 4 things to watch for, Cowboys Nation. Look, this is it's game day morning, but it doesn't feel like a real game day morning. It's been a while since the Cowboys have played a Monday Night Football game. Hell, even a Thursday night game where we do a game day morning show and it doesn't have that, amped up feel to it. It's been a long time. In fact, I don't even recall doing one with you guys like that. If you were here back in the 2020 days prior to A to Z Sports, you might have had one of these, but I don't even know if we did a game. We definitely didn't do a game day morning. So that never existed. So this is new territory for me, new territory for you guys. So keep it locked, though. Again, it is game day, which means me and Jesse Holly will be down at Canvas Sports and Social later tonight. If you need somewhere to come watch the game and kick it, I know it's not that type of season, but if you just kind of want to get out, come on through, man. Me and Jesse will be down there on the patio. And look, we may not be as entertaining as a game, but you could kick it with us. We could rap, talk, whatever you want to do. Big A, he usually comes through. He knows how it is, man. It's a chill vibe. But if you want to actually party, go upstairs on the second floor, and they got the DJ and everything popping off. So make sure I come through Canvas Sports and Social. How about this weekend in sports, though? Before I get into Cowboy stuff, what a weekend in sports. Did any of y'all watch the Tyson and Paul fight? If you want to call it that, the undercards are better than the actual fight. What a strange, it was weird watching a fight on Netflix. For that to be the first fight on Netflix, I get it, right? The name Tyson, and then you got Paul, who's the, YouTube social media guy. I get what Netflix was doing. I get what they were going for. And with many things moving towards Netflix, streaming wise, WWE, next 2 months, I get what they were doing. But, it was a rough one. It was a rough debut. I think too many people were streaming, so you had some of that going on, and then just the fight in general. Ooh. The whole, it doesn't surprise me, though, because this whole time I'm like, we're really hyping up a 60-year-old in the ring against a 30-year-old, which is wild. And I get maybe in a regular fight, Tyson might be able to catch him one time for the one time, but after about the first round, you could see my man's legs just wasn't in it. Plus, I think it was rigged. I don't think either one of them wanted to knock each other out. Yeah, man, that was. Fortunately, it was on Netflix, so you didn't have to pay no pay-per-view. How much did Jerry make? That's another thing I saw too. I saw Jerry going around on the pre-fight thing, and that's what he wants to do. Jerry, just do that. Let Will or somebody else do the football stuff. You do that. You get the Netflix to come to AT&T and the Jonas Brothers and Dolly Parton, Jelly Roll. Do all that, Jerry. Come on, man. Do all that. Tyson looked older than me. Boy, I felt so bad. Let me tell you when I knew, A, the fix was in. B, it's way past Tyson's bedtime. So Jake Paul comes out. First of all, what a troll job. Coming out to In the Air tonight, right? The whole reference from Hangover where Mike Tyson knocked those dudes out. But he comes out with his brother and the entourage, and he got the souped up ride, and he's just soaking it in. And I'm like, oh, he making this feel like heavyweight. I'm expecting to see Tyson do some spectacle. Mike said, man, look, dog, give me my whatever he had over top, my trunks, my gloves. And he just walked out there and he just looked like, oh shit, this is really happening. I'm 60 years old, about to fight, and I don't know how many thousands of people at 11 o'clock at night on Central, which means it was, midnight over there in the East Coast, I think, right? Something like that. He was tired. Oh, he was tired, boss. He came out. Go look. Run it back. Go watch Mike. I thought Mike was about to come out. He came out by himself. And then there was security that was a part of Netflix that said, yo, let's make it look like something. And then they start walking by him. I said, damn, Mike don't want to be here. Oh, Mike got out there. He got a couple shots in, literally only a couple early on. And by the time he got to like round 3 or 4, Mike just was like, come on, man, just don't fall. Kept biting. I said, God, this is bad, man. This is bad. Don't do that again. Jake Paul should be ashamed of himself. I know people was like, oh, well, he took it easy on Mike. Good for him. He shouldn't have been fighting him. 60 goddamn years old in that ring like that with a 30-year-old. Anyway, man. Oh, yeah, Elijah. And then the whole post-fight where he turned around and his whole cheeks was just, what a debacle. But, the sports week started with that weekend. And then yesterday in the NFL, let me say this. Football fans, I apologize in advance tonight. I apologize in advance. What you saw happen this past weekend with some great football, you're probably not going to see that tonight. Now, maybe on the other side of the ball, other side of the field, maybe, but damn sure not for the home team. I don't expect that to live up to what happened this past week with so many good games, so many good finishes, good performances from teams. It was a hell of a Sunday, man. Hell of a Sunday. Like I said, leave old men alone. Tell him that, man. Out here fighting a 60-year-old man. That man was tired. Jake Paul, George Foreman, I'm coming for you. What a freaking fight. All right, let's might have to hit a botch. We might have to do a reaction just on his Patreon or something, just talking about this whole thing. But anyway, let's get to this roundup real quick, injury report. And I promise you, this ain't gonna be a long show because we have the Game Day Live later tonight, pre-halftime and post-game. Oh yeah, that's not stopping, by the way. I know the season is bleak, but we will continue to be doing that, me and Jesse Alley. So y'all stick around for that. Let's get to this roundup though.
It's time! It's time! It's time!
It's time. It's time.
It is time for.
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Let me talk to you. Yeah!
Boy, it was not a good week for the Cowboys injury report, man. That list just got, like, it started off with long, right? 18 names on that list, and it didn't get better. It wasn't like it shrunk, man. It was pretty bad, and we'll find out today just how much one of these players, or how much better one of these players are feeling, but it could be even worse. So we'll just go down the list of a couple of these guys. We're not going to go through them all. Just some of the big names. DeRon Bland, once again, has been ruled out. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, just shut it down. Just shut it down. Are we all in agreement with this? Right? We're all in agreement. There is no need to bring DeRon Bland back. Bro, we're talking about a foot injury. We saw what happened with J. Lou, potentially career-ending injury, came back. It was rough for him to get back going, right? There's no need. Let DeRon Bland take this whole year off. If he needs surgery, get the surgery, rehab, heal, whatever he need to do, man. There's no point in running him out here. If they bring DeRon Bland back, it is malpractice. Y'all sat people for worse. And when I say worse, I mean ain't nothing wrong with him. Flat out. Hey, man, we need this roster spot, man. I'm good, though, coach. IR. This dude happens to be a cornerstone, at least for the next year. Don't play with that. Sit him down. Come on back next year, man. If they roll him out there and the Cowboys are sitting at 3-9, don't do that to him, man. CeeDee Lamb, over the weekend, he popped up on the injury report, man. Saturday, he was limited at practice, and it's a back situation. Now, part of me says I think he'll play because I haven't heard anything just quite yet. But 2 days out, you pop up on the injury report, and it's a back. If CD winces when he's walking in there, if CD says, ouch, if they say, hey, CD, how you feeling? He's like, yeah, I'm about 8 IR. Coach, I said I'm 8. If it start with an 8 IR. I'm not playing with none of them. I'm not playing with my guys. Back? One thing if it's just a little sore in my thigh or a little sore in my arm, the shoulder. If my back is hurting and I'm CD IR, I'm not playing with y'all. DeRon Bland, CeeDee Lamb, come have a seat. Let these young men get a chance to get some tick and let's see what we got. But coach, you just pick. I don't care. IR. Hunter Lipke is labeled as doubtful. He did not practice all week. Hunter Lipke ain't finna play. What is he dealing with here? He got a calf situation. Y'all think Hunter Lipke is a part of the future? If Hunter Lipke's a part of IR. No, I'm just Lipke, if he's healthy, get Lipke back out there. We gotta see what Lipke can do with some more touches, you know. But man, I'm interested to see what they do here because he has played at least 15 snaps in every game since week 2. And he's a big part of the 21 personnel package, man. I think they'll use Schoonmaker. Schoonmaker hasn't played much. They don't have that move tight end like they used to. Y'all remember, Hendershot was a guy. Actually, Princeton fan. I would bring Princeton fan up. Keep an eye out on that. Bring Princeton fan up because Schoonmaker's like 6'6". Brevin's 6'7". And when you're using guys that have to dig guys out the hole as a fullback, they don't have they don't have the leverage advantage, right? They can't get low enough. But Princeton Fant can. So I would call up Princeton Fant. I don't believe he has had 3 call-ups, so he should be good to go. Call him up and use him in that manner. Maybe even get him more involved in the pass game because he's a bit more athletic. So go ahead and get Princeton Fant up there. Schoonmaker, you can have a seat. And then Jordan Lewis, man. Oh, yeah. He's the biggest injury report status right here. He's listed as out with a neck injury. Look, Jordan Lewis has been your most consistent, your best defensive back all year. So obviously not having him out there is going to be a huge loss. But here's what I think they're going to do. And let me bring you guys back here and wrap to you. Get out of here. I think they're going to be using Israel Mukuamu, right? I don't have this as a thing to watch for, but I mean, you could list that, right? Where will they use Izzy? Because here's the situation they're in. Izzy came in and filled in for Carson last week. Okay, so Carson kind of got benched and got benched. If Lewis was available, then I think you continue with that. You say, hey, young man, come sit down. Let's see what Israel Mukuamu has got out there. Probably should have been to this. But with Lewis out, they're likely not going to call up my man on the practice squad to come play slot. I don't see that happening. I think they're going to roll with the guys they got. Now, I remember we talked about, hey, can Carson do some slot things? I thought he suited the slot a little bit more. But they didn't practice him there. They haven't played him there. So I don't think he's going to do that. I think they're going to use Izzy. I think they're going to put Izzy in that slot. And he's likely going to draw John Mechie. They've been ramping up John Mechie for the last few weeks. If you guys don't know his story, fantastic story. Good to see him back out there. Nico Collins is back. So Collins and Tank Dell will be on the outside. I know a lot of people were like, Tank Dell on the outside? Don't get it twisted. I know he's a small guy, but he plays predominantly on the boundary. He plays over 70% of his snaps out there. However, he'll go inside into the slot about 8-9 times a game, maybe a little bit more. So when he's in there and Mechie's in there, I don't necessarily like the matchup for Izzy. I told you guys, I don't think these type of receivers are built for him in the interior or on the inside in the slot playing nickel. It's usually the bigger guys. Unfortunately for Izzy, Nico Collins doesn't go in the slot that much, if at all. He's usually 80-90% outside on the boundary. So, you're going to see a lot of Nico Collins on Carson. And if I'm Bobby Slowick, if I'm Nico, if I'm anybody on that offense side of the ball that's part of the game planning, right? Stroud, whomever. I'm attacking Carson. I'm attacking Carson with Nico Collins all day, right? Now, they like to send Nico on the overs and things like that, so they may be running into some help, but Cowboys haven't done great defending those anyway. So I expect to see Izzy dealing with Dell and dealing with Mechie. And if that doesn't go well, maybe Zimmer makes a different move. Maybe he slides, he flips it, whatever. But I don't like the matchup. But, hey, it is what it is. This is Izzy's shot. So he hasn't been given a whole lot of chances. And he just got to buck up and lock in. All right? Buck up, lock in. If Izzy makes one play, he's already the third best corner of the team. Yeah, it's been rough for these DBs this year. Rough. That's why I like T-Jack. I like Keemon Hall as the Jordan Lewis replacement. That's kind of, if you remember in the offseason, I thought he played well in the slot in the preseason. He is predominantly a slot guy. I would do that. I would say, Keemon, you play slot, and Izzy, you do the boundary things, especially because you got a 6'5" guy out there, and it'd be nice to match that size with size. But I got a feeling, T-Jack, they're gonna roll Izzy out there in the slot. Yeah. Got a feeling that's what's going to happen. Hopefully I'm wrong, though. Hopefully it is Keemon Hall. We'd like to see him get some tick. Not saying he's some world beater, but he is a legitimate slot wide receiver. He can deal with the quicker guys better, I think, than Izzy. Bit of a teaser, I guess, for the what to watch for, because that is one. I've got 4 more. So let's get into it, Cowboys Nation. Number 1. Jonathan Mingo's debut. Yeah. Jonathan Domingo. I've been talking about Hateful Eight way too much. Honestly, could have put the Flo Mingo gang, because I think that Jonathan Mingo and Ryan Flournoy should be getting a lot of snaps the rest of the way. But we're just talking about Mingo because it's his debut. And what I'm going to be watching for is where he's lined up. I don't know if he's going to get a lot of targets in this game, but where he's lined up is going to be telling for me, honestly, for the rest of the year, for how they view him. The Cowboys run 11 personnel, the fifth most in the NFL. And I think that's because they legitimately cannot run 12. They don't have a second tight end they feel comfortable running 12. In fact, they're second or third last in 12 personnel, which is a stark contrast from a couple years ago. Jake Ferguson's rookie year, they ran 12 a lot. And they just don't have any unique formations. It's either 11 personnel or 21 with Hunter Lipke. That's all you're really getting from this team. But with that said, Jonathan Mingo is a true X wide receiver. He's a guy you want to see lined up on the boundary, on the line of scrimmage, dealing with, using his physicality to fight through press and being that big physical X. That's what he is. But when Dave Canales got to Carolina, right, this past season, they used him a little bit more in the slot. And I think it was because they were trying to figure out what he could do. They had no real plan. They drafted Xavier Legette. That was literally saying he's here to replace you, because Legette is that X wide receiver. The sponsor is no longer in the building for Mingo, so Legette took over, and then a couple other young guns surpassed him. So they were trying to find ways to use Mingo, and they put him in the slot. That's not where he needs to be. He's not a refined route runner. They try to do the quick game and use his yards after catch ability, but he's not stop start guy. Like when you think about Mingo in college, he's not stop start quick yak guy. He's use his momentum yak guy. He's after the catch yak guy. He's okay if I got some space and some blockers, then yeah. But he's not get the ball to me now, make a guy miss at the line of scrimmage. That's not his game. And they were trying to do that with Mingo a whole lot. I don't want to see the Cowboys do that. I don't want to see them line him up in the slot. What I would do, get rid of those Turpin snaps, because you're not going to use Turpin the way he needs to be used. We talked about that last week, right? Get rid of the Jonathan Brooks, or at least let Mingo eat into the Jonathan Brooks snaps. CeeDee Lamb, Mingo are my boundaries, with obviously CeeDee Lamb doing some slot things because that's what CeeDee does. And then Tolbert, you swap with Lamb and in the slot. But I want to see Mingo from the Joe Mingo gang do a lot more X stuff, right? Let's get him going. You spent the fourth. We know how we feel about that. Water under the bridge. Now let's see the tools that this kid does have on display. Let's ramp him up a little bit, right? Let's ramp him up. I would at least give him 20, 25 snaps tonight. And then from here on out, just spam him with snaps. You have nothing to lose. You have to know what you have in this kid moving forward. So I get it. First game, I'm not expecting Jonathan Mingo to light the world on fire. Would love it, though. I'm not expecting him to get 50, 60 snaps, but I would give him about a third of the snaps and then see how he handles it if he picks up the playbook. And then moving forward, he's replacing somebody. You can call it politics, whatever you want to call it. You did spend the fourth. He is still young, but you need to see him out there. Did I say Jonathan Brooks? My bad. Jalen Brooks. Y'all know the Brookses. Or the Jalens. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Number 2. It's Rico's Rock. We talked about this was Friday. Yeah, I'm talking about on Friday. Coach McCarthy, unofficially, officially, whatever you want to call it, came out and was like, yeah, Rico's his team's lead back. No shit, coach. We already knew that, coach. Just by the way you were using him, he's just a better back. We knew that. However, he does, he says that, but he keeps coming out and he keeps saying, it was just like anything. We got to get him the ball more. You can say the quiet part out loud, but you got to actually then go do these things. You keep saying we have to get him the ball. You call the plays. So now that it's out and open, right? According to him, now that he's benched Ezekiel Elliott at one point, whatever, suspended for a game, whatever you want to call it, but his boss has him back on the team. So there's kind of that public spat, if you will. Clearly, McCarthy is kind of getting a little bit comfortable. Well, I want to know how comfortable. Because they asked him on the radio, how many touches you think Rico can handle? And he said, I think he can handle 25 touches a game. Okay, I think that's a little silly, given his injury history. But at this point, what does it matter? The season's cooked. You don't have a competent backfield. If you want to spam Rico and run him into the ground, honestly, for his sake, do it. What do you mean? Whoa, what do you mean for his sake? Guys, listen. The season's cooked. This dude doesn't have many opportunities to showcase his talents, no matter how much you think there is or lack thereof, right? He doesn't have many opportunities to showcase it to get the bag. Spam him if you want to. If you think he can handle 25 touches, give him 25 touches. Now, is that something I would do over a full season? Absolutely not. But you got like 8 games left. He's coming up for a contract. He's likely auditioning for other teams, maybe even your team. And obviously, it gives you the best chance in the backfield. So I'd say do it. If you want 25 touches, I'd rather you give him 25 touches than give him 12 and Zeke 7. Straight like that. This is the situation you've put yourself in. So let's see if he truly is your lead back, as you say. And look, we said touches too, right? So it doesn't have to be 25 carries. It can be 15 carries, 5 receptions. Because he did talk about getting him involved in the backfield. Again, something we talked about in the offseason. He was your best pass catching back. But, he was dealing with some politics. Still, them boys said Rico not coming back anyway. Listen, that's how I feel, right? That's why I say spam him. Just go ahead and run him into the ground, because what you should do is you should start over in this backfield. But I've seen people, because of Rico's, success and limited attempts, is like, hey, bring him back. This is nothing against Rico Dowdle. This will be Rico's 6th season next year, with half of his career being injury riddled. Actually, more than half if you go back to college, right? And if you do truly spam him on the way out, why would I spend that bread to bring back, no offense, a running back to where I know I can probably draft a better guy? I could probably sign a better guy too. It makes no sense to me to bring Rico Dowdle back. Unless if you strike out completely in free agency, you strike out completely in the draft. I'm not seeing that. I'm not letting the best of a average at best piece of a backfield blind me into not selecting or adding 2 more backs on this team that are better. I ain't doing it, man. Again, if Rico's cousin's in here or something like that, there's no disrespect to Rico Dowdle. In fact, I hope he goes off the rest of the season, gets the bag somewhere, because he's not going to get many opportunities to do that. But I don't know how many more times we have to see across the league you can draft a ton of Rico Dowdles. And he's not that type of back, man. So I'm not. Look, if they bring him back, like I said a couple weeks ago, fine. If that's how they feel, whatever. I'm not going to sit here and jump for joy about it. And I'm not going to whine about it. As long as they add a back in the draft, a legitimate young guy in the draft, cool. But if my worry, as always with this ridiculous franchise, they'll sign a Rico Dowdle to some 3-year, $12 million deal and be like, that's our guy. And they won't draft a back to like round 7. Maybe not at all. Maybe not at all. Oh, we still got Deuce Vaughn on the roster. Hunter Lipke. We'll sign a guy. And now we're rolling this thing back out because these dudes don't have a clue. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Number 3. Another chance for Lance. I feel like we're going to get to a point in this season where, I would love to ask this question, because as I'm saying this out loud, let me talk to you for a quick second.
Let me talk to you.
I don't think Mike McCarthy wants to play Trey Lance. Nope. I don't think Mike McCarthy particularly cares for the development of Trey Lance. He comes out and he says, I'm proud of how hard he's working and he's studying and the film room and the footwork. And, bro, we're still talking about all that in year 5 or whatever it is for Trey Lance. And then we get out there in the Eagles game and they go out there and run the ball with him twice and then sit his ass down. He don't really want to play that man. I'm just sitting there thinking a little bit. However, Big Boss Man. Big Boss Man every week come out and say, oh, no. We got some packages. Yeah, there's packages and, you know, he's at the forefront and the center of attention and all this and all that. Jerry at some point is going to be like, okay, Mike, the Cooper Rush thing's done. It's time to put Lance in there. But when it comes to tonight, it's not really about the holistic view of Trey Lance. It's more so about tonight. That Texans defense, it's tough to deal with in general. Honestly, Lance might actually be better off moonlighting in this game as a runner as opposed to being the full-blown quarterback because he will get confused by this D'Amico Ryans defense. You know, but they give up, or not give up, they get the 5th most sacks and are 3rd in pressure percentage per PFR. So the reason why I say this could be another chance for Lance is maybe he, instead of getting 12 snaps, he gets 25 snaps and they use his legs a little bit more to kind of evade some pressure. Because look, not Rico, Cooper Rush just doesn't have the arm talent. He doesn't have the power. He got that little pop gun arm. Now, some time to time, he'll get the ball there, and that's cool. If that ball hangs against this defense, it's going to be an interception fest. By the way, they get some pressure. By the way, it could be without left tackle, your starting left tackle, maybe your starting left guard. We'll see. Your right guard's hurt. The right tackle cannot deal with these specimens. So you're probably going to need a quarterback that can move. I'd like for my quarterback to move a little bit here so we can create that second window and we can see a little bit of something from these young wide receivers. Now, is Trey Lance going to see that second window? Is a different story, but at least a second window will be created there. Look, Lance ain't going to change the dynamics of this game, but he does bring a dynamic factor to it, right? He can run. Now, do they go in there and use him as strictly a runner? If they're going to do that, then they need to Taysom Hill this thing. Shouts out to Taysom Hill. Yesterday, they had like $150 on the ground or something crazy. But we're not creative enough for that. You know, we come in, with Trey Lance, we just do basic read option and you know, that's cool, whatever. But if he's just going to moonlight in this game, 15 snaps, then let them be creative. If he's going to go in there and have legitimate quarterback snaps, then obviously I've been screaming for creative concepts all year pass game wise, but move the pocket. Give him half field reads. RPO this thing, not read option, RPO it. Tell Mingo to run straight down and just throw that thing, because we know Coop, just throw that thing up there. Do something. Do something. And then finally, you know, a lot of offense here. Here's what I'm looking at on the defense side of the ball, man. I'm looking to see, and this is for the rest of the year too, I want to see just how dynamic Micah and DeMarvion Overshown can be. I think this is the most exciting part of the defense the rest of the way. These two guys playing on the field at the same time, rushing the passer. Just how dynamic can these guys look together, especially with DeMarvion Overshown rushing the passer, being a pass rush threat more this part of the season than he was at the beginning, right? Like, yeah, he played, but he was doing more linebacker things. Now, because you lose all these rushers, Coach Zimmer has had to be a little bit more creative when it comes to DeMarvion Overshown. The first 4 weeks, he only rushed the passer 4 times. The last 3 weeks, 25 times. And we saw what that looked like last week when Micah and Demo, Micah's first game back, rushing the passer at the same time. These boys got 4 sacks combined and a forced fumble. I want to see more of that. I want to see more of these two boys getting after the quarterback. And we know the Texans' O-line is one of the worst pass protecting O-lines in the league. So fire these boys up, man. You need some juice. Those two guys will give it to you. We know who Mike is. We saw him kind of regain a little bit of that form last week, right? With this ankle injury, he gave you some pop off the edge, and as a loop guy, and then as a blitzer, man, Demo's just been fantastic. So I want to see more of this moving forward, and then maybe that's something for the new defensive coordinator next year. I mean, can you imagine like a 3-4 defense? Demo and Micah's standing up. Now that's light ass when it comes to Demo, but hey, Demo pack on about 10 more pounds, man. That'd be fun though. That'd be real fun. I'm just saying. So there you have it, Cowboys Nation. My 4 things to watch for in tonight's matchup. DeMarvion Overshown and Micah Parsons as the dynamic duo. Another chance for Trey Lance. Give him more snaps in this one. Rico's rock. It's his turn. Well, it's been his turn. But Coach Mike McCarthy came out and said, hey, it's the lead back. He can handle 25 touches. Well, damn it. Let's see. And then Jonathan Mingo's debut. Notice none of this is about key matchups and keys to win the game. You're at a disadvantage. You haven't won at home in a long time. It's starting to get to that point to where is it advantageous for you to get the dub? Now, again, y'all know how I feel. I ain't never rooting for an L, but I'm not going to cry if they lose. No, sirree, Bobski. Okay, I don't expect them to win in this game, but that's why I've altered how I watch this team the rest of the way. These things are going to keep me going, per se, as well as starting to get into this draft stuff here soon, but I just can't do it just quite yet. Not yet. Plenty of other creators that are doing it for you. Trust and believe me. Go get the jump start and the head start on it, man. I'm still trying to get a feel for some of these young bucks, right? Trying to get a feel for them. Hey, Z, don't do that to him. Y'all in here arguing about Zeke. Ooh, boy. Micah, Demo, and Abdul Carter. That's another thing, too. Like, if the Cowboys do get that top 5 pick or whatever, draft season is going to be fun. Because you're going to get a dude. They can't mess that up. They hardly ever mess that up. But you can't mess that up. Only way you mess that up and you ruin it for me is depending on who you hire as head coach. But we'll get there. Professor O said, I'm done talking about it. I thought I saw people in here fighting about Zeke, man. Professor O, Zeke will drive you to drink. The Zeke conversation, it'll drive you to drink. If it does, and I'm not, and you need a drink, hit up Specs, man. It's your one-stop shop for unbeatable selections of beer, wine, liquor, and finer foods. If you are planning that Cowboys hate watch party tonight, or you're just looking for the perfect bottle, Specs has got you covered. Great prices, expert advice, and the best brands. Find it all at Specs. And they're here to make your game days easier. Look, anything to make my game days easier, man. If you can't get out to get what you need, they have curbside pickup, or you can have it delivered straight to your crib. That's Specs. Cheers to you. Cheers to savings. Ms. Lemetri said the entertainment value is Brandon Aubrey. Only if he's kicking like a 58, 60-something yarder. Other than that, it's just like, just another kick that he's going to make. At this point, if I'm McCarthy, I'm trolling. We get around the 50-yard line. It's like a 71-yarder. Fuck it. Run him out. I just want to see if he can make a 70-yard field goal. Coach, what you doing? Hey, man. Just want to see what's up. But if he hit that 70-yarder and he said, Coach, man, my quad IR, we can't afford Brandon Aubrey. We need Brandon Aubrey for next year. I'm not messing with nothing. None of my top guys. Brandon Aubrey, if you get hurt, IR. It was raining out there. Bad. If CD say ouch today, IR. I don't even need DeRon Bland showing up. Put his ass on IR again. Has anyone went on IR twice without playing? Has that happened before? Is that possible? Let's add that to the list of first things. First time a player has hit the IR twice in one season without playing. It's raining pretty hard out there, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. Because we do got a little bit of a storm coming this way, Mr. Wayne. And I'm pretty sure it's going to affect how the stream works. So I'll see y'all tonight. I'll be back up around 6:30-ish. Me and Jesse Hiley giving y'all the pregame show. And then we'll be back for halftime, postgame, and all that good stuff, okay? Y'all be safe out there, man. Don't let tonight's game, whether it's a big L or a little L or whatever, don't let it sway you, okay? Don't let it get too, don't overreact to this one. I feel like we're all getting numb to these finishes, right? Let's just get up out of here healthy, and hopefully we get a chance to see more from these young guys to evaluate, right? That's kind of how I'm looking at it. They shoot. I'm pressing this button, man.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
Real quick, if I can, just in case I might have made it on the way out. Got a couple. Shouts out to Big Kahuna, dropped 5 and said, peace and blessings to the chat. Hope everyone had a blessed Friday and great weekend. And Lil Bill said, man, this is a good one. Keep the party going. Hey, appreciate you, Lil Bill. But the party's over. Turn out the lights. See ya. Pre-game show. Peace.